Clinton, I know you very well. You are my friend, you are my brother. He used to play the piano at Church for Real. This was about 11 years ago. 11 years ago. But just not that. I want you to, the first question I will ask you is, how many instruments do you play? Say them one by one. And it's perfect enough. Just start. Let's go. Yes, just say them.
Okay, I play the saxophones.
You play the saxophone?
Tenor, alto, and the soprano. I play the keyboard. I play the bass guitar, the lead guitar. I play the violin. I play the flute. I play the trumpet. I play the trombone. And I also play the drums. I started with the drums, actually. Okay, that's what I can remember for now.
That's about 12 instruments, and he plays them perfectly.
Yeah, truly.
So, Clinton Baroque is an orchestra.
That was him, actually.
He's an orchestra, but he's a good one. He's a great guy. Okay, so, I know you very well, but suddenly, you just blew. And when I knew you, you were broke. Really. It was Esther. After that, he bleached. Oh, yeah, you got it. You get it. I'm serious. I'm not trying to be. You know what I'm saying is the truth.
That's true.
When he was playing the piano at Church for Real 11 years ago or thereabout, this guy, this guy. But he just suddenly, he has over 400,000 followers on Instagram.
And then almost 2 million on Facebook.
Almost 2 million followers on Facebook. Over 400,000 on Instagram. On TikTok, 2 million.
No, 300,000 on TikTok.
300,000 on TikTok. Yes. So I want to know. I recognize Lassie Eleno in the building as well. Great. So Clinton, what's your story briefly from zero to wealth? How did you make it using social media?
Okay.
This is very interesting. Please listen up.
Okay, this is a personal thing for me because sometimes I can imagine how I went to the market to buy a Samsung A70 UK used for just 70,000 naira, and I was creating content using my InShot, editing videos, because I love to listen to men of God. And that's one of the first things you must understand. Don't start creating content that you don't have the natural ability to consume. Start with something that you can consume, even though you're not the one creating it. So that way you have longevity, because over time you might need ideas. So when you have this source of ideas around you, you will not run dry. So when I flip on the television sometimes, I may not stay an hour watching a sport, or maybe watching African magic that perform magic, but I can spend the rest of the day watching preachers. So when I wanted to create content, it was easier for me to identify what I was going to do. So I went into getting the best part of messages from great men of God, and that actually came from a place of frustration. Let me just briefly point on that. I was in a church program. Like every other day when I get there, I'm always very frustrated, angry about what is happening. Then I saw my friend playing for an A-list gospel artist. And like, this was supposed to be me. God, why are you unfair to me? All my years of being a musician, working so hard, and I'm not using it for anything. However, in that moment, this great man of God came on stage, Pastor Paula Deferasin. I've been seeing him preach, but for that day, it felt like I saw him for the first time. So I was raptured by his eloquence, his charisma, like, okay, I could be this person. And I heard a voice in my mind say, how? You don't even know how to speak. You can't even be him. So I went home with that enthusiasm, went to my friend. I was telling him, John, I think I have figured out what I'm going to do in life. And he now said, what is that? I think I'm going to be a preacher. He took a pause for a while and said, Clinton, before now, your village people, they sleep. But now they are fully awake. You that don't even know how to speak, because I had speech impediment, and that was why I was so focused in music. You that don't even know how to speak, how do you want to preach? I said, I don't know, but I'm going to figure how. So I went to my room that day and I said, okay, since I don't have the ability to communicate properly, let me start a platform where I can post the preachers that I love, and over the years I'm going to develop myself as a speaker and hopefully preach on my page. That was what started my platform. So I created a page called Clinton Baroque Motivation, which is now Clinton Baroque Inspirational Network. And over the course of 3 years, I was consistent because I didn't want to make money. Money was not my agenda. I just wanted to preach. So over the course of 3 years, I was posting videos back to back. Pastor Paul Adefrasin, Joe Austin, Dr. Miles Muro, T.D. Jakes, and all of the great preachers. And sometimes Bishop Benson, there's a video that you probably seen go viral. When your morning comes, you know, today may be your Friday, but your morning is coming. That went viral. Yeah, I created that video truly. So I was doing that for the next 3 years.
I need the word artist, please.
Eh?
I need the word artist on that video, please.
And that video had about almost 1 million views on my page.
We will discuss, don't worry.
That's fine, thank you.
Continue.
So for the next 3 years, from 2016 to 2019, all I was able to gather was 700 followers. And I remember sometimes I would call my friends and ask them, please, you know they see what's in the post. They like them, they encourage me. They will just go and just put, amen. Amen. You know, your thumbs up and like, no, support my vision. At a point, in the year 2019, remember I said I had only 700 followers for 3 years. In the year 2019, my appetite for success increased. I wanted more. However, frustration came in. Because now I want to succeed, but the reality is against my imagination. So I remember that day, I came back from work. I had posted a video that I thought was going to go viral. I was so convinced. So I got back from work and went on my page. What I saw was 200 views. I said, I'm done. I'm not doing this again. I'm going back to my music full time. So I wanted to delete my page. Somehow, I decided not to delete the page. So what I did, I deleted the video. But in my mind, Ochilo, I'm done. So I went to sleep. I remember that vividly. 12 midnight. Someone tapped me. I woke up, my wife was still sleeping, my children were still sleeping. Obviously, they were not the one that tapped me. And I heard this voice so vividly. You cannot be sleeping in your moment of visitation. That was the voice. Go back to that video. So I went to my table, staring at that content I had deleted, and I'm asking myself, what do I need to do right now to have this thing go viral? I didn't know how I came about with this prayer. I remember saying to God, please give me a strategy. It was Albert Einstein that said you can't be doing the same thing over and over again, expect to have it. Sometimes you have to have a change of strategy. And when I prayed that prayer, something came to my mind to do. I decided to create a border around the video and put +18 because the content was marriage-related content. I created +18 on the video and reluctantly posted the video and went to sleep. Early hours of the day, I realized that my Samsung A70 was having unusual notification. Remember, sometimes, maybe in the course of 1 hour, just say one ping, one like, okay, fine, thank God. I was having unusual notification. I turned on my phone, lo and behold, I had gotten like 20,000 views. And how 5,000 persons followed me that night, I still can't explain. And I told God, thank you, I'm done. I've never seen that before, so this is enough for me. And I heard that voice, I'm about to give you a big start. That video ended up having 4.7 million views. And over 150,000 persons followed me in the course of 3 months. But that's not how I made my money. Remember the question you asked me, how I made my money. From that 2019, July, August, September, October, November, we came to a halt. There was no growth again on the page. And I went back to God and asked him again, please give me another strategy. And this time he told me, you have been focusing on trying to go viral. Stop. Focus on creating value. Okay, so we had gotten about 150,000 followers, and then the content has gotten about 4.7 million views. But we came to a halt from 2019, July, August, September. So I went back to God and I was asking him, okay, what do I need to do right now? And he gave me another strategy. He said, you've been focusing on trying to get viral view. Focus more on creating value. And he asked me, how many times do you post your content every day? I said, sometimes I post every 1 hour. And he now told me, post every 30 minutes. So every time I was editing videos back to back. I picked new preachers that I was featuring on my page. I did that thing from October, November, December, January, February, March. I got a phone call from one of my followers that he has been blessed by my content and he wanted to sow a seed of $100 to me. That was the first time I ever got money on that. But I decided to use that resources to buy a small lapel mic, a video rig, and a tripod. Then by April 2020, that was COVID-19. my platform was ready for COVID-19. So all those contents I was creating back to back to back, because Christians were home, they needed a platform to feed on. That was how my platform exploded. Millions of views, 4 million, 7 million. You can go and check it on Facebook, Clinton Broken Inspirational Network. Then, towards the end of COVID-19, post-COVID-19, I'm going to tell you how I started making money. I was in my home because nobody's going out. Account done the red. Asking God, what do we need to do right now? And he reminded me, what do you have in your house? There's something you've been building. I want to use that thing to bless you right now. So I got a phone call from a preacher in Houston, and he was requesting to have his content promoted on my page. And I told him, because of my small mind, that it's my own hobby. I don't do promotions there. He said, you don't do promotions with this big number? I said, yes, I don't do promotions. He now hung up on me and then called back and said, okay, I want to sow a seed in your life. You want to appeal with my rigid mind as a child of God. If I give you $1,000 to promote some of my content, are you going to accept? I checked my account, man. There's no money there. I called my wife and I told her what was happening. He said, Clinton, no door yourself. The evil man in me jumped out. So I called him back. So, sir, please, I will not just promote your content, your entire media team. I will promote it. And I said, okay, send your account number. In the next 5 minutes or so, I got an alert of 500,000. I was blown away. At a point, I wanted to cry because as a music teacher, to make that money, they don't tear your neck for street. But I'm just sitting home and someone just pays me there to promote a content from something I was building out of pain. I thought it was a joke. From that moment up until I left COVID-19 and everything, I was living in a very poor house. I made almost 20 million, and I'm not exaggerating. Remember, from a Samsung A70, I bought 70,000. So what we are doing here is so important. You can decide to undermine the value you're going to get here, but your destiny is tied to what you're going to learn here. Because that's how God changed my life, and that is what, I can go on and tell you all the amazing things that has happened to me as a result of social media, but let me just hold it there. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm sure somebody is working already. That's with what has just happened. But that's just one of so many stories that you have. This is somebody I know personally. And when I saw that he had started to grow and blow, I started to pay attention. Started to pay close attention. Oreme, I have a question for you. Question says, customer, how do you think someone trying to build a personal brand can leverage the principles you use or that you taught?
All right, awesome. So the person says, as a customer experience expert, how can you use the principle I talked about? So I assume you want to build your personal brand based on those principles I shared. Now, I just want to say, those principles I shared are quite universal. They're not really limited to customer experience. So I'm glad that Bishop Feb kind of helped me complete what I was saying, which is, okay, social media is out there. You heard Clinton's story, and I'm so excited. Clinton, God bless you. Because this is the real value of everybody has something. You have something, and then there is something else, which is a platform. I said Africa has challenges. That's why we must be the first adopters of technology. Because technology will get us where our institutions cannot go. If you are waiting for them to fix lights, wait long. What will take us, that's why now you see solar is fast, because we need to double take. Our gaps are too wide in Africa. But that's why once you click, you will fly. So talking about the principles I shared, I said social media is out there. The first thing you need to do, like I mentioned, is who are you trying to reach? Clinton said he thought to himself, I want to create content. And that's why he said the first product is really you. He could have started posting sports, basketball, football, but he knows that is not his passion. So he will be faking it. And the truth is, social media is a place where when you are fake, you cannot go long. You cannot go far for long. Because people are in touch with you. Like I said before, when you're selling soap, you post it on a billboard. Nobody knows who made the soap. But now they are saying, who posted this? They want to, people are to care about the way you live your life. People care about what someone says about you. So your personal brand is very important. So I would say the first thing to do about building your personal brand is I internalize with yourself, who am I? He said to himself, I don't really like watching sports. I like watching messages. So let me build something on that. He was able to identify himself. He was able to avoid the external noise pressure. Somebody will say, is he preaching? Who preaching here? Post football, World Cup, this one. I'm not saying those are not content. For somebody else, yes. But what is your own? Remember, Bishop Feb said, the prophet asked the lady, what do you have in your house? And he said, what are in other people's houses? He said, what is in your own house? So I would say your first thing about personal brand is be genuine with yourself. And on social media age, it's not easy. Everybody's forming, trying to do, me too. But the people that can find, for example, in my job, I said I don't make money on social media yet, but Clinton is my coach. He's my new coach. God bless you. So, in fact, the way I will do video this night, I have learned to follow no road. But I have a career. I know I love Africa. There was a time, that's my besto. There was a time I was getting offers from foreign companies, good offers. But I ask myself, who am I? I love Africa. I want to work for an African company. I stayed in my job. Even though the other jobs were better paid, in quotes. But the fulfillment I have today, I know I wouldn't have had them. Why am I saying this? Know who you are. The first thing in building your personal brand. So you always have a consistent story. Number 2, learn work. He did not blow in a day. Learn work. Know that platform. Oh, Instagram is the platform that I will use. LinkedIn is the platform I will use. The only social media I really have is LinkedIn. I'm a professional. On LinkedIn, I have quite a number of followers. I have quite a number. My content goes far. But every time, I had to go step back to go and find people that are doing well on LinkedIn and learn. That's something that a lot of people don't do, the incubation stage. Building a personal brand does not come in a day. Go and learn the work on the platform. Go and learn the work on what am I going to be saying, which has to very in line with who am I, my passions, etc. Then I will say the next one, start today. Start. The first post you post will not be excellent. But as I said when I was presenting, if you start when you are ready, you are late. Make your mistakes. Post the one that only 2 people, some people will just say amen. But you see, after a few years, he had gotten enough practice. Now he's talking 20 million. It's not overnight. It's not overnight. Everything will take time. But if you start with what you have, you will make progress, and your big break will come and you'll be ready. When his big break came during COVID, if he had been waiting to be ready, he would not have been ready. So those are things I'll say. Your personal brand, be genuine, and that is between you and I'll say your God. Have a conversation. Number 2, learn work. Start now, right? And be ready to fumble, stumble, learn from people that are doing it in line with where you are going. And I'll say that's it for me.
All right, thank you so much. She said, stumble, be ready to stumble, fumble, but be humble, so that you don't crumble. All right, so Clinton, I'll ask you a question, then we'll take questions from the audience. Okay. Talking about content creation, you mentioned Samsung A70. So many people talk about the iPhones. Bishop Feb mentioned something that you don't need to have the best of gadgets. Use what you have. You don't know the one that would make it. What's your advice? Because you're a content creator. What's your advice to people who want to do professional content creation for social media? What kind of devices or gadgets should they have to make crisp, clear video quality and sound quality? Importantly, lights, considerations, and all of that.
Okay, that's a great question. So it depends on your style. So for me, I'm a modifier. So what I do, I pick contents that other people have created and I modify it, almost like Tunde Ednot, what he does. However, when I saw that a season may come, I may be at the risk of copyright infringement, I decided to invest in buying media equipment, my own cameras. So instead of having to go get the videos of, let me take for example, Apostle Joshua Selman and Court, I can travel to wherever he is and have a production with him. That becomes my own content, almost like TBN, Daystar, all those television network. So that was what my goal, to protect myself. However, if you want to do like a solo content creator, you do talking head videos, you sit down and you talk, and you want to, something good. So for instance, I would recommend this camera for starters, Sony ZV-E10. Do we know that Sony ZV-E10 is a vlogging camera?
You said again, you look like you're speaking in tongues. Sony ZV-E10.
Sony ZV-E10. Sony ZV-E10, yes. I think it's about 800,000 now.
For startup.
It used to be, I know, it used to be about 450,000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It was last year that the price changed. Okay.
However, now this is, if you're going to buy a camera, you will not need an editor. You will not need all of those lights and stuff. But if you want to bring it to the bare minimum, you can buy a smartphone. Okay, let me, Samsung fans and iPhone fans, I've been using my phone up to date to edit videos. I have never, to be honest, sat on a computer and I want to edit any video. Because I do quick on, it's okay, I call it fast food content creation. So whilst you are still trying to do all the kitchen, cook all your food, I'm already giving you burger on the go. So you are eating fast food. So I use my Samsung to edit my videos. Now, take for instance, you want to use that same Samsung to create your personal content. All you need is your phone. Okay, let's say your budget around light is about 100,000. You can buy a Godos SL60. Or you can buy a panel light about 50,000. So when you have that, there's this wireless mic that people wear these days. Okay, so you have the ones of Type C and the one for iPhone. You can buy that. So let's say, for instance, you spent 450,000 to buy a phone, which is still very expensive though. And then you use 12,000 to buy a mic, or 15,000 to buy a mic. Then you take 100,000 to buy a light. That's almost about 600,000. So then you buy a tripod. But what matters is your content. Because you might have the best of the equipment, but if you don't have the best content, it's still a waste. You still need to have your content. Then the next thing, when it comes to editing, you have to learn how to edit yourself. So what are the things I use for editing? CapCut. How many of us know CapCut? Don't play with that, That thing has made me millions. Don't go and say just CapCut. It's not CapCut, it's millions on that thing. Because even if you're not a content creator, there are many organizations that need people who can edit videos on the go. They can employ you using the CapCut and you are making money off it. So if you want to do an average content creation, your smartphone, no, first on the list is your content. What do you want to say? Don't okay, let me put this word. No matter how many years a wood will remain in the water, it will never become a crocodile. Never. So you can go and say because someone removed his clothes and is mad on the internet, is making 1 million views and stuff, and you that have sanity decide to now go and do the same thing because that is what is making money. You might have that first 1 million views, but the wahala will be, how am I going to sustain it? Because you're not naturally mad. Do you understand? But if you are a very coded person like me, so serious about life, everything about us is mystery, overthinking, just find people who are in that line. Be boring. It's better that your boring makes you viral because you know that you don't need to do any other thing extra to keep your followers than trying to be jivey, and then you're a boring person and now you have 1 million views and all of a sudden you don't enter with it. So it's very practical. And there's something I'm going to do before I leave here. How many of us use AI? Okay, we're on WhatsApp, right? Yeah. So because I know this is a very, I'm looking at the time. Let me just do it quickly. It just came to my mind. So that you just have, because I may not always be on your ears, but I can leave something with you that when you get home, you can breathe on it and God will give you an inspiration. So these are the questions that when I saw the AI thing there, I said, okay, make I experiment, play a bit. You know, it was yesterday it came to my mind. And I said, okay, let me ask you questions that may help you. When you get home, after everything we've said here has come to an end, you are not distracted, eating a bar and a goosey soup. You can go to your phone and look at those questions. These are the questions that I asked this, I don't know if it's a lady or a man, anyway, whichever one. It's just that it helped me. Okay, first question, and I want us to do it together. Is it possible? Let's do it together. Okay, let me go on my AI on WhatsApp, yes, because, yeah. I don't know, I use an Android. I'm an Android fan, so okay, are we there? If you're there, say aye. Thank you. First question is, what is social media? First question, what is social media? Something comes up. That will give you an understanding on how to navigate both the microbloggings, the networking site, and all of that. Have you asked the first question? What is social media? Okay, I believe she's answering right now. Okay. All right. If you've asked the question, first question, say hi. Thank you. Then the second question is, sorry, let me start from, okay, yes. Second question is how to make money from social media. And she's going to tell you influencer marketing, affiliate marketing, sponsor content, advertising, selling product, and all of that. Please go through them. You will need it all. Don't say it's AI. We're just giving you real life experience. You need that mechanical information to help facilitate your progress. 15 answers, thank you. Then the next question is how to grow my online presence. And then you see, define your niche, create high quality content, choose the right platforms, all of that and all of that and all of that and all of that. Are we there? Quickly. Then the next question is, what makes a content go viral? Then you see the emotional connection, relevance, and timelessness, and uniqueness and originality. Most of the things I've said. Are we there? Have we gotten it? Then the next one is types of influencers on social media. Very, very important. So if you have, please, types of influencers on social media. So if you have between 1,000 and 10,000 followers, you're a nano influencer. Are we doing it? If you've asked the question, say hi. Hi. Thank you. You see the nano influencer, the micro influencer, the macro influencer, the mega influencer, like our big boss there. They are the mega guys in the building, 1 million and above. So they are the mega influencers. Then, how much should I charge as an influencer? Yes, ask it. So, God being my judge, I think I've something with you that when you go through them, you'll be amazed at the ideas that will pop out. And that is why we live in the digital world. You don't have to wait for 20 years. Now, let me say this thing very quickly. Remember I said it took me 3 years to amass 1 million followers. But there's someone in my lineage, it took him just 6 months to have 1.1 million followers on TikTok. My immediate younger brother. He didn't have to go through the process I went through. He has been exposed. So it was easy. Imagine him having 1 million followers on TikTok, 200,000 followers on IG. He started this thing with using Infinix Note 8 or Note 9, what was it? But now he has gotten himself an iPhone 13 Pro Max recently to improve his content. So what we are doing here is so important. It's my story. And it's how God has used to bless my life. And I believe that I've left you with something very tangible. You know, thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hi, my name is Samuel, and my question is for Mrs. Aka. You spoke about Facebook and how it has remained relevant because of the first mover's advantage. But I would like to ask, based on your expertise, if you're someone with an idea, and let's say you missed the first train, you missed the first bus, what do you think you can still do as a second mover or a third mover? Is it still possible to still be able to make impact and still be able to get on the train, even if you miss the first movers? Thank you.
Okay, thanks. And thanks for that question, because a lot of people are overwhelmed, saying someone else already doing it. I'll tell you, as long as what you are doing is genuine, there is always an angle you will bring that others don't have. For example, Microsoft was always there. But Apple came and Apple is winning in the... I mean, a MacBook, you may not see as many MacBooks as Windows PCs, but Apple created their niche and they are playing in that space. And I'm just using that as an example we know. The same of life. Now, when you bring your own personal genuineness into what you do, you may, when we say first mover advantage, who determines who is the first? This race, there's nobody's in competition with anybody, right? What makes it first mover is you, when you show up with your uniqueness, you are now the first mover for your own niche that you have created. So what am I saying? As long as you have value to give, there is always a place. But if what you want to do is copycat, that is when, you need to be bothered that someone else has already gone ahead. But when you always find that extra. So again, Facebook came. Facebook is, they built a very deep customer base that is very difficult for others to overtake in numbers. But when you look at the reach of some other social media, very far, very deep. They may not have 67% like Facebook, but what they have is working for them. No matter how big Facebook is, when you want to do content for video, it is not Facebook. So there are people that have said, okay, Facebook, you're the big boy, but I'm going to find this space. The same I'll say for you, Samuel. There's something in Samuel that somebody else doesn't have. They may have something that looks like, but yours is unique. Bring it out. Bring it out. People were doing video editing before he showed up. But this is a different angle. I'm going to find preachers. I'm going to take their content, do. So you just listen to yourself, because God always speaks to us. And that is our creativity when we listen. All right, I hope that helps.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
My name is Obi. So I've always seen of course, I'm focusing on Mr. Clipton. I've always seen his stuffs online, and I've loved them. I never knew the face behind it, but I'm happy to see him today. So I actually enjoy the fact that he goes to take videos of pictures and repost. But the fear for me was the copyright thing, like you said. I'm happy you perceived it and you wanted to waive the infringement, the copyright infringement. Now, for me, it's not expensive for you to go to the venue of these programs to want to get them. And have you been appreciated by some of these pictures? Because, of course, you're making them go viral. But because of the whole, probably you are getting, because of the views, you are enriching yourself more than them. So what I'm saying that for someone, I actually love that line of content making, as much as you can also do something personal, but it's all tied on promoting the kingdom. So my question here is it still not infringement if I want to go into getting videos of preachers, for example, Mr. Selman is preaching and I copy his link on Instagram and I post on my own account, wouldn't it be the infringement? And of course, we have been trying to waive that by saying you have to go to the venue. That would be very expensive. So how do we go about cutting these expenses?
All right, thank you. Thank you.
There's something I did when my content started going viral. So I sent email to their organizations requesting for approval to use their content. So the preachers that gave me the approval, they are the ones I continued using their content. The ones that did not give me the approval, I just waved bye-bye. And what I did, I had so much faith. It wasn't the content that was going viral. It was me behind the content. And the Bible said, whatever our hands finds to do, we should do it well. And God is the one blessing me. So that faith now extended. So what I did was, I actually started picking unknown preachers to give visibility. Because that was the idea. But the ones that told me that, or even the ones that complain, I didn't want to bother, because that's their content. You want to be able to trade carefully, dealing with people who have given you. However, I can mention a couple of guys that you wouldn't have issue with. Number one is Joshua Solomon. You know him there, Pastor Jerry Eze. You know him. And when you are cutting, don't cut because you want to go viral. You'll start picking some controversial statements they made. That is what they don't like. And that's one of the things that some bloggers do. I don't post because I want to use controversy to gain viral. I post for edification. And that is what I focus on. And that's how I've been able to protect myself. Because when they come on my page and they realize that I'm authentic with what I do. So let me give you the secret. For instance, I want to tell someone that God is going to help it. That would have been what I wanted to say to you. I'll go and look for someone who has said that and then post it. So even though it's not my, okay, let me go, I call it disguise and win. So even though it's not the face, but this is what I would have said. And then whilst I was promoting those content, I was becoming the content myself. In case I get to a stage that all of them says, please don't use it, I won't go bankrupt. I am not the content. All right, let's continue from where we stopped.
All right, thank you.
That's how I've been able to.
Thank you. So Clinton, are you saying, I mean, this is a direct question, because I see on your profile, you have a lot of Bishop Jakes, you have a lot of Ken Henderson,
yeah, that's on
you have a lot
Instagram.
of Joel Osteen.
Yes.
You were saying something?
That's on Instagram, so that's my personal.
Okay,
yes. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. All right, cool. I will take one more. Let me take a question from him.
All right.
Okay, I'm playing Ojoro. Okay, I'm coming that way.
All
Right. Yes.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Tosin, and I'm a podcaster. So my question is for Mr.
You're
Clinton.
a podcaster.
Yes, I am.
That was a new title. I like the name.
All right. My podcast centers on entrepreneurship. So I wanted to ask you, because so far I've been threading on the audio only, and in the podcasting industry, you might not know because you're not there, there's the disparity between video podcasting and audio podcasting. And because in the climate we live in, videos have gone really viral. And some of these videos are supposed to just be tagged shows, not podcast. But then they picked on the name podcast and then they ran with it, and then some of us suffer on the back end. So I wanted to ask you, what is like your best approach to say, do video, do audio, and what is like a stepping stone to kick off? Right? I know there's YouTube, but if you do not have like really good editing skills, you won't be able to put out stuff, and you cannot pay people who will do it on your behalf. That's one. And then two, I wanted to ask you, how do you diversify if you have multiple talents to show off online, and you really have to show it off because you have more than one talent as you were given by the master? So how do you, merge all of them and put it out online?
Okay, first of all, I must commend your voice. You have a good voice. Okay, so one of the things that I've observed many people do, instead of just doing the audio podcast, they do a video, then take the video to platforms that appreciate video, and then take the audio to platforms that because what you want to do is to have a face attached to what you do. Which of the platforms are you on? All platforms. So imagine, let's say you did a 1 hour podcast, but you pick the excerpt of the points you made, and then take the video on your IG or TikTok, then send the link to the audio version of it. You will get more traction from there. So don't limit yourself to just the audio podcast. Do the two, because you cannot take away the visuals from people. They need to know who is behind the whole thing. Do the full video, then extract your audio and post on platforms that accept audio content, and then post the ones that accept video content on them. I think that's going to help you.
My name is Rotimi Emmanuel. Okay, my question is to Mr. Clint. You see,
no, this is not Clint the drunk. This is Clinton.
Mr. Clinton. Okay, Clinton Baron. I want to say this. As a Christian, you said something about yourself that you are a multi-instrumentalist. And to the glory of God, I happen to be managing the youngest instrumentalist in the house right now, Mutirola Oluwa. I want to say this to you. Our gospel talented people, instrumentalists, dancers, singers, and at a certain time, they get pushed away because they face some certain challenges such as the one you faced. But you were able to figure it out by diverting into something else.
Please ask your question. Your question.
Yes. How do we manage it? How do we manage it without having to end up diverting, moving from the gospel line to secular? Because that is where people get paid.
First of all, I want to make this correction. I did not divert. It was an end road based on God's own plan for my life. So even if he had allowed me to do music, I am a very persevering person. I would have still made it successful. But he had something in mind for me emerging. That is why he allowed me to follow the trajectory. It wasn't a complete that. It wasn't that I got to the place that, I don't blow finally. It was his own plan for my life that I followed judiciously.
My name is David. I want to ask the question about monetization on social media.
which of the platform paid you the most? Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok? I don't run the traditional monetization where Facebook pays me. Remember, those contents are not mine. I don't want to start using someone's content to make money. Just think of my platform like a TV network. People buy airtime to be on my page. So imagine someone wants to have a 20 days crusade. It's okay, for these 20 days, I want to earn this thing on your page. What will be the monetary value for it? And then I give you based on the capacity of my, but not like I am posting a video that is talking about hope and then I'm chucking money inside there. No. That's not the way I make my money because I am not doing purely original content. I have to be very careful with that. So if you want to learn how to make money, even though my platform is monetized, but deliberately, I didn't want to let that be the source. Because what that would do to me, I have a bigger vision of owning the TV network. I will not be streamlined to how to waiting on Facebook. I know there's money there. I didn't want anything that will limit the main vision, which is owning the TV network eventually. So I'm running that pattern without being distracted.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.